Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin. We have 901 Sunscribers as of this recording. Thank you for becoming a Sunscriber. Remember, when you become a Sunscriber, you are no longer a subscriber. You are a Sunscriber. So thank you very much for watching, commenting, and signing up. We're not going to do a Suns Legend Hustler of the Day. We're going to get back to it tomorrow. It's just that we have so much to talk about, and you know why. We also have a ton of great comments from you, so thank you. All right, so here's our quote from the day. Quote, your best player has to set a tone of intolerance for anything that gets in the way of winning. And quote, that is from Jeff Van Gundy. Who doesn't love Jeff Van Gundy? That guy paid his dues. That guy was a great coach. He's one of the best commentators. He is diplomatic. He is fair. He is pragmatic in his assessment of players. And he's got a great sense of humor. I've always liked Jeff Gundy. Even though we have Devin Booker who as our best player, and we saw a glimpse of how good Jalen Green can be, we're going to get to it in just a few, intolerance for anything that gets in the way of winning is what kind of what Coach Jordan Ott is setting up for us right now. And that, even though he's not the player, that feels kind of amazing. I love his attitude. We have got to be so grateful that we have Coach Ott right now. Devin Booker seems like, as I said, he's not the most verbal guy when it comes to talking to the team. He definitely gets in the grill of everybody who's trying to guard him, though. And to me, that's intolerance, and that works pretty well for us as well. All right, I want to get to the big game that we had the other night, but there's some interesting news around the NBA. This is an apology from me. I was calling three-time NBA Slam Dunk champ Mac McClung Max after he signed his first standard NBA contract after years of 2 ways in 10 days and Exhibit 9s and 10s. Apologies to Mac, and one of you also commented to correct me, so thank you for that, because I really do like Mac McClung. Also, Mac was waived by the Pacers after 3 games. He will make $164 grand. The second year wasn't guaranteed. I don't understand what the Pacers are doing. I thought Mac was, and like he had a pretty good first couple of games with them, and then the Pacers signed former Sun two-way guard Monty Morris in place of him, who's really good, but I was just like, what happened here? I don't quite get it. I know it's just, these are guys that are just filling injury voids. I get it, but I just thought it was a bizarre signing, a bizarre wave, and then a bizarre signing of Monty Morris. He played 45 games for the Suns last year. Anyway, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. But right now, let's talk about this amazing win that we had on Saturday night against the Clippers. We beat the Clippers twice in a row. Yes, I know Harden didn't play in the first game against the Suns, but he came back the other night, and Kawhi Leonard did not play either of the games. Now, let's put an asterisk really quick next to Kawhi Leonard because he's almost never playing in games. That's part of who he is. As great as Kawhi Leonard is and was, this is it. This is as good as he is right now. And it was Pat Riley, and it was a lot of other guys who watch the NBA and have stuff to do with the NBA talk about availability as a talent. And if you're not available for a good chunk of the season, then that degrades your talent, if there's a better way to say it. So as good as Kawhi is, he's not available, so he's not there, so he's not playing, so he's not as good as we make him out to be. Does that make any sense? Dylan Brooks was out the last few games, but he started. He immediately got into James Harden's jersey. Harden was out their last game, started as well. Harden is a crap defender, and the Clippers were like top 5 defensive team last year. That's not happening. Once again, Kawhi is gone. They suffer, but one guy doesn't make an entire defense. Harden you can get right by Harden all game long. Booker did it all game long. He can still score, and he got downhill way too much in the first quarter. P.S. The Suns did win 114-103 in Los Angeles against the Clippers. Harden getting downhill changed in the second quarters. Ryan Dunn and Brooks made life really, really tough for the beard. Kawhi out again. Bummer, Jalen Green re-aggravated his right hamstring on a no-contact foot plant right before the end of the first quarter. He had to be helped off the court. He did not return. We're going to put a pin in that. We're going to get back to it. Bad interior defense in the first by us. Ivica Zubac went where he wanted. Mark Williams kept it even with 8 first-quarter points. Mark Williams is not the greatest one-on-one defender, especially with a guy who outweighs him like Zubac, who's really good at getting where he wanted to get. At the same time, he can swat, he can irritate. He's a really good help defender. He's a good rim deterrent. But yeah, one-on-one against Zubac exposed some Mark Williams defensive deficiencies. Clippers shot 61% from the field in the fourth quarter, but we led by 5 at the end. That's because they couldn't make a single three. Clippers can shoot, but they've got a lot of holes in their offensive game. When Book sat, the Suns seemed a bit lost, but Grayson and Royce held it together. and made a lot of smart plays. Coach Ott lets us fling threes. We shot 38. We made 16 for 42%. Pretty good. Former Sun Bradley Beal started. He's an even worse defender than Harden. You can just do whatever you want against him. Stacking on the wrong side, leaving his man open more than a few times. He just doesn't have a defensive instinct. And it's when you have to tell a guy who's been in the league that long, go over here and defend your guy on the weak side, and he's like, oh, crap, and he just misses assignments over and over. Just before the end of the half, Beal left the bench with left hip soreness. He was questionable in the return, but he did come back. And he actually had a pretty good second half. Jordan Goodwin got early minutes. He not only nailed a few timely threes, but his defensive instinct is the opposite of Bradley Beal's. It's so innate. You almost can't beat him on a switch, and he never stops moving. He's really strong, low center of gravity. I absolutely love his activity. Colin Gillespie gets rebounds when big men put it down and gather or put it on the floor. Gillespie always seems to be there. It's an amazing skill. He also has a picture-perfect three. He wants the ball. His attitude and his confidence, it's through the roof. Give Colin Gillespie more minutes. 12 points in 12 minutes off the bench, 4 out of 6 three-point shooting in the first half. I do want more minutes for them. He was ice cold in the second, though, but he still made some nice defensive plays, passes, and again, he gets those carom rebounds. He gets rebounds where you're like, who's going to get it? It's just Gillespie's going to get it, and he does. 6 boards for Colin Gillespie. Clippers shot 51% from the field in the first half, 1 for 14 from 3, and trailed by 14, 60-46 going into the second half. So Bradley Beal returns in the second half. He looked a lot better. I'll guarantee he got shot up in the second half. I'll guarantee it because he looked slow and out of sync in the first half. He comes back. He makes 2 threes and a nice driving layup in the third. Book was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. He has now made 22 straight free throws. It's still early. I'd like to see less Book isolation. I know he's our guy, and with Jalen Green not playing in the second half, it's going to happen, but I'd like to see less of it. He's going to get his looks, and he's going to get his points either way. I'd just like to see a little bit less of the rest of the team standing around because it's Devin Booker, but they'll get there. Remember, it's 10 games into the season. The Suns looked really good in transition, and I love how Mark Williams runs the floor. I love his awareness around the basket. If he gets low and you get him the ball, he's either going to pass out to a guy who's completely open for something, or he's going to get it in the hoop. He's really talented with that. So with about 8 minutes left in the third, and the Suns making it look easy, Royce O'Neal gets called with a BS offensive foul. Complete BS. It was like kind of a disgusting call where you're like, huh? Setting a screen on former Sun Derek Jones Jr., who falls down, and he sold it, but there is a trend in the NBA, and I'm not shouting conspiracy, but I keep seeing this, and it happens in the third quarter if it looks like it's going to be a blowout by the fourth. Like clockwork. Another BS call in the third with Derek Jones in Book's jersey. Book goes up for a shot. Inadvertent elbow, even though Book did lean, but Book has the right. He's in the air. He's committed. He's on offense. He has the right to make space for himself. Sends Derek Jones Jr. flying. Shot goes in. Clippers call review, and it gets overturned. And I thought an offensive player was allowed to try to make his shot. I see this way too much. Book gets called for an offensive foul. The ref didn't sound quite sure as to what the hell he was saying during the review explanation. Call gets overturned. Clippers get the ball back. They make a little run because of this call, because it completely stops the progress that the Suns were making in the third. Next possession, another offensive foul gets called on Book. This one I agreed with, but again, Derek Jones Jr., former Sun, good defender, just selling, getting hurt. The Suns review it, and we lose it. So Ryan Dunn, really quick, it happens all the time in the third quarter. You watch it. Teams up by 12 or 14 in the third quarter. You watch the team that's ahead. What random game? Watch the team that's ahead get called for something that's really questionable, and watch momentum shift if it looks like a blowout. Happens way too much. Ryan Dunn really active on the offensive boards. Ryan Dunn really active. He's one of those quiet guys where you're like, how did that happen? Well, how did we stop that run? Or who got that dunk? Or who made the nice transition play? Ryan Dunn is that guy. And you don't notice it because it's quick and it's so effective and it's not spectacular. He is such a good player. I freaking love watching Ryan Dunn play basketball. We couldn't hit a 3 in the third. Clippers got back on track, made it 85-80 heading into the fourth. Suns come out with a different energy. Gillespie and Goodwin were everywhere. Grayson Allen hits 2 threes. Clipper timeout. They come back. Clipper John Collins, former Hawk, former Jazz. He is a nice player. And he's arguably their best guy consistently anyway all night. He seems to play a little bit out of control. I think that's just his herky-jerky, twitchy movement, but he's really effective and super athletic. I like John Collins a lot. But Grayson hits another three, and you could see it just start to wear on the Clippers. Every time the Clippers went on a run, or every time they got within 5, Grayson or Royce or Ryan Dunn shut them up. Every single time. Or Book made a shot. Clippers without Kawhi, not a good defensive team. When James Harden is your main scorer, you will probably try to trade buckets to win because that's the only strategy you got. Zubac was also 10 for 12. Really good post-game offense, and I don't know why they didn't go to him more. I don't know why that Brook Lopez couldn't miss. We can't guard those guys. They're too big and they're too strong. And why the Clippers just kept, I don't know what they were doing, but it seemed like Ty Lue is kind of got his hands tied when you have James Harden and you got a bunch of other perimeter guys. It's like, just go to your bigs. I didn't understand it. I'm glad he screwed it up, but I didn't understand it. Bad pass. Careless turnover by Book and the Clippers within 5 again. Book has 5 turnovers. He needs to figure that out. Nick Batum, 3 threes in a row, followed by Brooks and O'Neal threes. I mean, every time the Clippers went on a run, every time the Clippers looked like they were going to get more threes than us, we answered. And Brooks and O'Neal did a great job with that. With about 2:35 to go, the Suns finally did to Zubac what they did to Wemby in the Spurs game. They didn't let him gather. They didn't let him get comfortable. They didn't let him put the ball on the floor. Force a bad pass. Bad shot from John Collins. We get the ball back. That was the nail in the coffin. As a Rocket, Harden's game suffered when the refs stopped calling his BS flopping after every shot. He got a lot of those calls last night, and it makes it tough on us, the fans of basketball. But it didn't do much for him the other night. He gets tired at the end of games, and you can see he's not in the best shape. He's breathing heavy. He did not look good. To be fair, he's covering a lot for Kawhi, but the Clippers were supposed to be a top 5 team this year. They didn't put Chris Paul in. Bradley Beal's on minutes restrictions. They have Nick Batum. They have a lot of good players that are supposed to be, this top 5 team, at least in the West. Clippers are done, man. Clippers are lost. 48 seconds to go. The Clipper announcers pointed out Harden, and both said, wow, he's gassed. When your home guys are going, I don't know about this guy. So Suns win 114-103. Every time LA got close, they led by 1 for a single possession, I think, in the first quarter. Every time they got close, we stepped on the gas, and we got the job done. It was really cool. Book missed a triple-double by a single assist, shot 8 for 19, 0 for 3 from 3. You know what I like about that? He stopped shooting threes. He's like, I don't got it from 3 tonight, but I can get into the paint, and I can finish strong against these guys, and that's what he did. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Royce with 12.7 boards, 5 assists, 19 and 6 from Mark Williams, 85% from the free throw line, 48% from the field, 42 from 3. 42% from 3. Not bad. We out-rebounded the Clippers 42-27. Weird. I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking Clippers are out-rebounding us. Clippers are getting too many offensive rebounds, like on single possessions, and they did. But throughout the game, I mean, that's dominating on the boards. I didn't even see that. Really cool. We got to every long rebound, which is important. That means we're simply out-hustling them. They're a lot bigger on the front line than us. We made good on that. Overall, really good win. Couple defensive breakdowns. Good vision from Harden, getting his teammates involved for good looks. He had a game-high 13 assists. Harden's game is still pretty effective. He just can't do it all by himself at this advanced age, and that's why the Clippers are not going to be too much of a problem for Suns or any other team in the West. He is pure offense, but without Kawhi, he's not strong enough of a defender to change a game like he used to. Again, Royce, Grayson, Gillespie, and Jordan Goodwin are such good core guys for us. We needed them all to win. Dylan Brooks did not miss a beat after missing 2 games. He is an agitator, and man, are we lucky to have that guy. His defense and confidence is infectious. I love that he's a Phoenix Sun. After the win and losing Jalen Green again, final word from Coach Ott. This team will have no excuses. Enough said. Next game is tonight at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. The last I checked, Zion Williamson is still out with a hamstring issue, which really sucks. All right, moving on to your comments, and we have so many comments and a whole lot to cover regarding the game. So as I said before, we're not going to do a Suns Legend Hustler edition today. We're going to do it again tomorrow. At JJ Grenade, I sure like Coach Ott. The future looks really good. Yeah. At Nico and Cisco, Green's jumper looks so smooth. We're talking about the first game against the Clippers, the one in Phoenix. Curious Mind 2525. Hello, sir. Jalen Green. Wow, wow, wow. Kevin Who. All I got to say today. Excellent recap. Thank you very much. This is from the previous Suns latest. We're going to get to Jalen Green. AP Aptis Lopez, your thoughts about Oso at power forward? Better than him starting at center. Oso had a few minutes on the Saturday game against the Clippers, and he made a couple of off passes, like looking off passes. He's going to be good like that. He gets a couple of minutes a game now. I think Coach Ott has realized it's like he's just not a center, but he can plug in when Richards needs a break, or when Williams needs a break. Remember, even though Mark Williams is starting, he is still on a minutes restrictions. We do not want what happened to Jalen Green happen to Mark Williams. So I think that's why we saw a little bit more Oso, and I think that's why we saw a lot of Nick Richards as well. But Metallica, I said it before, you can't judge the KD trade for at least 6 months. I think that's smart. There are so many factors to be considered: age, longevity, leadership, toughness, chemistry, etc., etc. I love this team now. I like the team right now, too. It was really fun. There were a lot of things that came together on Saturday. Cloud cover. This season has barely started, but all those doubters who thought the Suns would be one of the worst teams in the league after losing Durant should be realizing that young, hungry, and talented will win a lot of games. On a side note, good for DeAndre Ayton for trying to turn his career around instead of just sitting around and waiting for a paycheck. Too bad it has to be for the Lakers. Yeah. Yep. I said two things regarding the Suns. The Suns team. We will have to wait and see. How many times have you heard me say we will have to wait and see? We don't know what we have. Coach Ott is a defensive-minded coach. You can see it happening. He will bring intensity and order to this group. It's already happening, but if players don't buy in, they will sit. And as Coach Ott just said, this team will have no excuses. It's cool to know that Coach Ott would have sat DeAndre Ayton if he was on the Suns now. But I'm fine with Ayton getting better. He could always get you numbers. It was more about understanding his role and where to be, and maybe that's happening with the Lakers. I will say that living here in Los Angeles, I've watched LeBron Lakers since the bubble. And they earned the bubble chip. They really did. Anthony Davis was a big part of that. He deserved Finals MVP, not LeBron. But this, right now, watching the Lakers, this is as good as they've ever looked, and LeBron hasn't played a game for them this season. More comments, because we got a lot of them, and we're going to cover them all today. Dagoon R, the whole Beal thing is overkill. I don't like Suns fans being a-holes. Other players see stuff like that and could reconsider playing here. We signed him to that crappy contract. We crapped the bed in handing both him and KD bad contracts. Rest in peace, Uncle Cliffy. Yeah, I mean... All right, more about Beal. Mark Brigger. Beal was a punk bitch when he played for the Suns. I'm so glad to see him off the Suns. Andrew Ruiz. That hate wouldn't be so constant if he wasn't such a smug a-hole trolling Suns fans every chance he gets. Everybody understood the front office put us in that hole, and we were mostly all ready to let that chapter close. But him shutting down trade packages and trolling fans online got the Clippers more hate from a Suns franchise that already hasn't liked them since PG-13 and Pat Bev in 2021. Really good point, Andrew. For me, I agree. I think it's important to remind Clipper fans that every single time, this is for Clipper fans, and I've been here long enough to see why the Clippers are the Clippers. Every single time they start to feel themselves, they should be reminded that they're the Clippers, that players on and former Clippers need to be reminded that you were a Clipper or you are on the Clippers right now. And I don't care if it's Beal or former guys like Westbrook, who's having a pretty good year with the Kings. When you are a Clipper, you best understand what you're up against and know your place. Beal will understand soon, if not already. You notice you don't hear Hall of Famers like Harden, Leonard, or CP3 chirping about anything, even when the Clippers win. They don't. There's a part of them that understands the team that they're on because they know that they're Clippers and that team hasn't done anything in their entire existence. At least win one Western Conference championship. At least get to the finals once. With all the talent they've had in the last 15 to 20 years, they have absolutely underperformed. I don't care that Steve Ballmer's the owner right now. I don't care. They are Clippers. And Bradley Beal, he had a good third quarter. He will always break your heart, and I'm really glad he's gone. And you know what? This is going to sound really weird. The stretch is worth it to not have him on the Suns. All right, cool. As I said, we're not going to do the Legend Hustler edition today, but I got one lined up for you tomorrow. Rest in peace, Uncle Cliffy. He was our most recent Suns Legend of the day, Hustler edition. Suns win, and they're going against the Pelicans tonight. This could be 3 in a row. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you watching Suns Latest. Appreciate you becoming a Sunscriber. We're over 900. Oh my God, you guys. Thank you very much. This has been Suns Latest. I'm Rich Rubin. We'll do it again tomorrow. Go Suns.